Combat is as much a part of Spider-Man's DNA as his thwipping and quipping.
Sorry, had to strike while the iron was hot.
Anybody who spent time taking down henchmen, criminals, and villains in 2018 Spider-Man or Spider-Man Miles Morales will be right at home in Spider-Man 2. But there are plenty of new gadgets, abilities, and combos that will help you take down anyone who gets in your way. Here are our favorite combat and stealth tips for Spider-Man 2. As in the first game, air combat is still incredibly useful. It makes it harder for enemies to melee attack you and lets you control the engagement at your pace. One thing you'll need to look out for, however, is the electric nets the hunters will employ to keep you grounded. If you see one of these generating above you, your best bet is to get back to ground level. Thankfully, you still have a ton of options while grounded, so we'll go over those first, followed by air combat.
You can't just have invisible hideouts around New York.
Gadgets and special abilities.
Hey, has anyone seen my gas truck?
And then stealth. The biggest new addition to ground combat is the new parry mechanic. Once fully upgraded, parrying attacks can disarm enemies, restore your health, refill your focus, and even help instantly web up bad guys, making them even more vulnerable to follow-up attacks. The parry timing can be tricky, especially since some of the tougher enemies will include these towards the end of their combos. You may also get caught off guard during a dodge since you can't parry while in the air, so we have a few recommendations. First, we recommend parrying earlier rather than later, as an early parry will count as a block and reduce damage taken. Whereas a late parry will see you absorbing a full hit from an enemy. Second, if you find yourself dodging and unable to land in time to parry these attacks, you can also avoid them by jumping into the air. Pressing circle and then X in sequence activates a long dodge, which extends your dodge radius. And third, don't wait to practice parrying on only the big hits that you have to parry. The only attacks you have to dodge are the ones with a blue circle. You can parry almost everything else.
Hi, I'm Spider-Man, and I'll be ruining your day.
While it can be easy to fall into the rhythm of just alternating square and circle presses, both Spider-Men are non-lethal, so keep in mind that you don't just have to beat bad guys up to deal with them. Fire webs at enemies who are knocked down or near walls to stick them to the surface and take them out of the fight. This even generates more focus than just using attacks, so you'll have access to your healing or your takedowns even faster. Of course, with the new wall thrash skill, a quick beating is definitely still an option if you need to do high damage to a single target.
That was just bad business all around.
While in the previous games you could web throw enemies to hit others before tossing them into walls to incapacitate them, Spider-Man 2 upgrades this with a directional yank. Once you unlock it, hold triangle to attach a web, then press L2 or R2 to yank them in their respective direction. You can slam them into other enemies, objects, or even off the side of buildings. No, wait, come back. One of the best things you can do when fighting a large group of enemies is keep yourself in the air for the reasons mentioned in the intro. Thankfully, both Miles and Peter gain access to knock up enemies in the air higher than ever before. After triggering a swing kick by holding square in mid-air, you can now combo with triangle to lift bad guys up even further, after you unlock the corresponding skill. Just like sliding under enemies on the ground, you can use air swap to dodge while airborne once you unlock it. The benefit to using the air version is it allows you to dodge ranged attacks like rockets, bullets, and more while continuing your air combos. It's also good for repositioning if you want to push them in a particular direction. Both Spider-Men have new gadgets in their arsenal as well: the Upshot, the Web Grabber, and the Ricochet Web. While these all have their uses, we found ourselves using the Web Grabber most of all, especially in conjunction with Miles and Peter's abilities. Grouping enemies together is a fantastic way to line them up for a Venom attack, or one of Peter's Symbiote or Spider Arm abilities. The combo resupply skill can be unlocked very early on in the Peter and Miles tree. You'll get a chance for a free gadget use when you complete a 4-hit combo, and you get to choose from any of the gadgets you have equipped. The only caveat is this actually doesn't refill your gadgets, it just gives you a bonus use of one of them, and it's on a timer. Make sure you take advantage of it before the time runs out. You don't have to complete both branches of a tree to get to the skill at the end. If none of the skills on one particular side tickle your fancy, you can still grab the skill at the end of the tree without completing both branches. Suits may be the flashy thing to spend your hero tokens on, but these specialized rewards are a bit harder to come by than the other currencies. Unlock your suit tech early, as there are some incredibly useful upgrades in there that make combat more fun, such as extra focus meter for takedowns and healing, increased traversal speed, and even tech parts locations on your minimap. Also make sure to upgrade your gadgets regularly, as even the standard web shooters become immensely more powerful as you go further up the tree. We've condensed stealth into a small section in the combat video because, let's face it, combat is just stealth that's recently failed.
Here we go. The gang's all here.
If you want to keep from being a failure for just a little while longer, we've got you covered there too. When creating web lines, you can attach them to other web lines to keep your unique pattern going. This new ability gives you a ton of flexibility on where you want to take enemies down from, and you can even keep 6 out at a time, so don't skimp on them. But be aware of your limit. If you connect all your lines to other lines, you can have a real House of Cards situation on your hands. When stealthing, make sure to prioritize the flying drones first. They're easy to eliminate safely, and they'll spot you really quickly if you let them. Just click on the right stick and make sure it's safe before attacking. When you're ready to begin combat proper, before everyone sees you, the first web strike takedown is still instant if it's a normal enemy. So make sure you start the engagement on the right foot by taking out who you want first.
Shutting this shipment down, now!
Those are our surefire combat and stealth tips to get you started in Spider-Man 2. Have any tips you want to drop for everyone? Make sure to leave them in the comments below, and while you're here, check out our